This is the 430 Scuderia. It's Ferrari's hardcore take on the 430 and is aimed at the petrolhead who likes to push the boundaries of performance and handling to the same limits as their accountant's patience.
It starts at £172,000. That's nearly £40,000 more than the standard model.
Up front she gets a surprisingly decent boot, a nice shiny engine at the back, and in between a couple of seats and a steering wheel. But that's about it. You see, the cabin has been stripped out to save weight, so wave goodbye to luxuries like leather, carpets or even cup holders. Instead, it's all been replaced by lightweight carbon fibre and these figure-hugging super racing seats.
The trouble is, not much effort has gone into sprucing up the interior. It's almost as though they got halfway through making it and just forgot to finish it off. And that's something you can't say about road racing versions of Lamborghinis and Porsches.
In fact, this model with all the extras comes to £195,000. That's Ferrari 599 money. That begs a question. If you lose rather than gain on the luxury front, why does it cost so much more than an F430? To find out, you'll have to look at the price list.
There's the ceramic brakes, £10,000. The paint job, £5,000. The stripes on the bonnet and the roof, £5,000. The carbon fibre, £20,000, and the list goes on.
So does the Scuderia really warrant such a hefty price tag? After all, the standard 430 is a pretty impressive driving machine. It's fast, agile, grippy, and, as we've already mentioned, significantly cheaper.
It's only when you get behind the wheel that all that extra cost begins to make sense. Powered by a 4.3 litre V8 similar to the one in the F430, but Ferrari have tweaked it a little bit to give it more power. It now produces 510 brake horsepower, which is 20 more than the standard version.
That doesn't sound a massive increase, but that low-carb diet means it's now 100 kilograms lighter.
What that means, according to Ferrari, is that it'll actually go round the Ferrari test track in Italy faster than an Enzo.
And it's easy to see why. It's so manageable at speed, the steering is super accurate, the acceleration is brutal, and the handling is impeccable.
The performance figures tell a pretty impressive story. 0 to 60, 3.5 seconds. Top speed, how about 200 miles an hour? There's one thing you just cannot get away from in this car, and that is that incredible noise it makes. Just drop a gear, put your foot down.
There are a few party tricks the Scud has up its sleeve. First is the F1 Superfast 2 gearbox. It cuts the time it takes to change gear from 150 milliseconds to 60 milliseconds. Now that may sound completely irrelevant, but to put it into perspective, the gear change in an F1 car is between 30 to 40 milliseconds. Then there's the Manettino. If you follow F1, you'll have probably seen something similar on their cars. This allows the driver to alter the setup whilst on the go. If you were to compare it to a computer game, it's a bit like deciding how much of a cheat level you want on. Trouble is, there's no restart button if you get it wrong. The Manettino has 5 settings, which are just the differential, traction control, stability control, gear change and ABS, depending on how brave you're feeling. In fact, Michael Schumacher was involved in the development of the 430 Scud, and let's be honest, there aren't many better combinations than Ferrari and Michael Schumacher.
There's no getting away from the fact that, as stripped out road races go, this is one of the best in the business.
In many ways, the 430 Scuderia is the ultimate Ferrari. It's just a shame that £170,000 starting price and the lengthy waiting list means only a select few will get to sample one of the best Ferraris ever made.